Welcome back, everyone, to the Blue 82 podcast. I'm here with my co-host Nick, and we got a special guest today. We got one of our buddies, Nathan. He is on the episode with us.
What's
Um,
up? What's up?
we're gonna have some guests here and there. We figured just for this week, it's kind of like a light episode. We're gonna talk about some week one predictions, who we think's gonna win the games, things like that, and just talk about some random news and some hot takes and just random stuff essentially. Just waiting on week one, excited for the season, and before we get into it, I just want to again say thank y'all for all the support. I appreciate y'all. It's nice to be able to do this with the homies and have some little bit of feedback on it, some support. It's nice, so I appreciate y'all. Nick, you got anything before we start?
I want to read out the subscriber there. That's a banger subscriber right there.
Do what?
Someone subscribed to you,
Someone subscribe to me.
Safety.
Oh.
No, you can't replace me. Hell no, you can't replace me. Cause I want this forever.
I didn't realize the sub streak ended, and I had an ad literally as it started the stream. I was like, well, that can't happen.
We got Zeus season Nick with the sub. Let's go, baby. I had the sound alerts on, bro. I wasn't ready for that. You said the new subscriber, and I was like, what are you talking about? And then the sound went off, and I was like, oh, shit. That's funny. I appreciate
I think what are we doing first? Is predictions, right?
Yeah, we're going to do predictions. You got anything?
Get right into it.
Get right into it? All right, let's go.
I'm ready.
All right,
Nathan,
so,
you ready?
Nathan, you ready?
Yo, I'm ready.
First time on a podcast. You excited? How you feeling about it?
I'm feeling great. Just happy to be here.
Love that. Why
He had a lot to say in chat last episode.
He did, so we figured we'd bring
He
him
did not
bring
like
him
the
in
Saints. The Saints, and he did not like the Seahawks.
here. Yeah.
What we were saying.
Why did Nathan just now sounded like a dude talking at a post game conference? I don't got much to say. I'm just happy to be here. Oh goodness, that's funny as hell. All right, so Thursday night game. We're like 3 days away from it, boys. I can't wait for it. We got Bills, Rams. I think it's gonna be.
And in alternate timeline, this is a Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think it's gonna be a really good first game. I'm glad they got this on the Thursday night game for the first game of the season to kick it off. It's a tough one, man. I really don't know how to pick from this.
Let Nathan go first.
But let's hear from Nathan
What
first.
Nathan has to say.
See what he's got.
All right. Well, looking at it, you got Bills and Rams. Rams, Super Bowl champions, but they lost a couple of players on that defense. And Bills honestly just got better adding Von Miller. And I feel like
they lost Von Miller and they picked them up.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have a Von Miller versus his old team type thing, and it's not just Stephon Diggs that's going to be in the Josh Allen's target. You got Gabriel Davis that's going to take over. You can get where Josh Allen kind of spread the ball around the field a little more. So I mean, honestly, I have the Bills taking it. I just feel like the Rams, they lost Von Miller, they lost Sebastian Joseph Day. I mean, they did get Bobby Wagner, but it's just Aaron Donald, Bobby Wagner, Jalen Ramsey, where I feel like it'll be a good game, but I just feel like the Bills are going to edge it out.
He
like that.
picked against his boy Bobby Wagner.
That's crazy. Nick, who you got?
I'm gonna go Bills, honestly. I really think Josh Allen's gonna be really good this year.
Oh,
Keep it short, keep it sweet.
do I go against the group? I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, I think I'll take the Bills here too. I think the Bills might start out a little slow, and it looks like it might be the Rams game, but I think they figure it out. Who knows? Bills could come out hot though and score 14 points in a half a second. But I think the Rams are still a really good team, even though they lost some people on the defense. But I take the Bills for this one as well.
Rams are at home too, by the way. Never know.
That's true. Thursday night prime time. I don't know. I think Josh Allen just has himself a year, bro.
Yeah, I think
so.
he's gonna be an MVP type player.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, starting with the 12 o'clock games. I guess 11 for you, Nick. 1 for you, Nick.
Yeah, it's one. Yeah, these are 1 o'clock.
We got Saints and Falcons. Shit bowl here.
Division matchup.
I think
always a toss-up, honestly.
they're really always a toss-up, but I think looking at it, you got to go with the Saints.
Yeah,
I think it's
kind of it's like a no-brainer one.
Yeah,
like,
this
if you're
is
taking the Falcons. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if like this matchup was happening later in the season, I can maybe go with the Falcons. But I think since it's early in the season, the Falcons are going to have to figure themselves out, figure out their identity, and I think it's going to take a few weeks for that to happen. So I'm going Saints here.
Probably go Saints. What about you, Nathan?
I like the Saints just because, Jameis is back. Michael Thomas is back for the first time in like a year and a half, 2 years. Jarvis is finally playing back. He's not at home, but he's, with a team that he says is close to home. And I just feel like there's just a lot of emotion on the Saints sideline. And with the Falcons, I feel like that's just, it's a young team. They just got to figure out their stuff. And I just don't think they can take it week one. So, I feel like they'll get their identity later on down the road, but it's not, they won't have it week.
I like it.
All points.
This man sounds like a pro.
Don't forget the Honey Badger came back from LSU.
Oh, the Honey Badger, my boy. Yeah. Him and Jarvis back in Louisiana, they're about to tear it up.
You got Jarvis, you got Tyrann Mathieu, Marshawn Lattimore, Marcus Bay is also on the Saints now.
They lost they just lost what's his name, Chancey Gardner to a trade with the Eagles, so that's something to look at, but I still think they're fine on the defensive side of the ball.
They could quite possibly replace him or anything, but they're obviously not going to replace him before the first week. But
they could call it Richard Sherman.
I think the Falcons linebacker requested a trade too, didn't he? I can't think of his name, but he has like a really big contract too.
Isn't it the guy they signed last year?
He's like really good, but I can't remember his name. What is his name? Hold on. Falcon.
I think he was from Jacksonville. Am I mistaken?
Oh, Deion Jones.
Deion Jones, that guy. Isn't he
yes.
He's on IR right now.
He's not on IR, but yeah, he was like. I remember at the beginning of the year they were saying that he wanted to be traded.
Huh.
But I don't think anything's happened.
No, I don't think so either.
But this is probably one that everyone looks forward to seeing is the Browns and the Panthers.
Oh, Baker
against his old team.
It'd be even better if Watson was playing. That way it's like true revenge game for Baker. But it's still a revenge game.
He definitely has this one like in red fucking pen circle. Be like he's ready to go.
If I'm not mistaken too, he got up on the podium and said he's gonna fuck him up or something like that.
Oh yeah, he said something like that. Yeah, I remember that. But in my opinion, I think it's Panthers in this game. Honestly.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of Jacoby Brissett, who will be starting, and the CMC is half healthy and back. Like that guy is electric.
Oh, absolutely.
Because what did he have? Last time he fully played wasn't 1,000 yards receiving and running.
Rushing. Yep.
I don't know. I like the Panthers' defense better too. And without Watson, I really don't see how this offense is going to do anything. Personally.
So you're going Panthers. I like it. Nathan, who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Panthers too. I just feel like Watson's not going to be in the lineup. And that's honestly something that's going to kind of help them struggle. But the only thing that I could see keeping them in, seeing, if you watch Jacoby Brissett, he's never really had that wow factor. But honestly, that defense is going to be the only thing that's going to keep him in this game. But I feel like, another thing with the Panthers, Baker, he's, on a revenge game. He said several times that he wants this game and he wants to, kind of, make Browns pay for what they did. And seeing as much as I hate it because I'm a Longhorns fan, but Baker had I remember one game in college, Baker had a revenge type game where he had a lot of animosity with another team and he absolutely balled out.
It was against Texas Tech.
Was it that game?
Nah, I don't think so. I think it was the game against Texas Tech, right? Because he used to be on Texas Tech.
Yes, I think it was Texas Tech.
It was him and Pat Mahomes against each other, and it was like 55 to 54. Pat Mahomes had like 800 yards, Baker had like 600 with like 6 TDs. Like, it was just a nuts game.
And I mean, whenever Baker's on those revenge games, he straight up he balls out because he has that chip on his shoulder. And Baker plays with a lot of swag. As much as I hate it because he's a Sooner quarterback, but he plays with a lot of swag. And I mean, especially whenever you got that chip on your shoulder, he's gonna, and especially if he's gonna have CMC back, he's gonna have DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. He's gonna have all these people. I mean, and I think, just hang on.
You think of valid points. I do like it.
Yeah, they just traded for Laviska Shenault, and I mean, adding him, I mean, then you got now Robbie Anderson. I mean, you got DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Laviska Shenault, and now and CMC. I mean, I feel like Baker's, in a pretty decent situation. I mean, that O line is, I mean, it's all right, but
Yeah.
Baker's always been a mobile quarterback, so.
I
feel like
as much as I want to go against the grain here against y'all, and I want to pick the Browns, I just can't because I'm such a Baker Mayfield fan. Like, I don't think he's the greatest quarterback by any means, but I could see, kind of touching on what Nathan said, I could see him having that revenge style game, and when Baker's at his best when people are counting him out. And I think him going to the Panthers, a lot of people are going to forget about him, and he's going to come back this season. Not saying he's going to have the greatest season ever by a quarterback, but I think he's going to come out this season and remind people why he was the number 1 draft pick. And I think it starts with this game against the Browns. I think the Panthers take it as well. I could see us seeing Baker in a college-style game, you know what I mean, where he's just fucking heaving the ball across the field, things like that, you know what I mean, like just going crazy. But I think it's going to end up being a pretty good game, pretty close game, I think, maybe. But again, I just don't have the faith in Jacoby.
I think we talked I think we talked on it on like past episodes where like the Browns are set up for the future and not really set up for now.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Nathan.
Well, I mean, I feel like, honestly, whenever, I'm a big Baker Mayfield, believer because if you watch how he played before he got that shoulder injury, whenever they played Houston last year, he was actually playing great football. I mean, even not even before the injury that season. I mean, the previous season, I mean, he led the Browns to their first playoff appearance, in God knows how long, and their first playoff win. And he literally shifted the entire
organization,
the culture, and he shifted the culture and everything in Cleveland, and and I just feel like he's healthy, and healthy Baker, honestly, he wins, and I mean with a better, and I mean OBJ was hurt a lot whenever he was in Cleveland, and I mean he didn't have a fully healthy offense. I mean now you're going into a fully healthy offense. You're going in with a fully healthy offense against, a team without their starting quarterback. And, I just feel like I just don't see the Panthers losing this game, especially with Baker having that chip on his shoulder.
I like it. Next we got, what'd you say, Nick?
I think we move on here.
Yeah. Next we got 49ers and Bears. Me and Nick have talked about it on previous episodes. We just don't see the Bears. I just don't think they're ready. I know there's a lot of hype around Justin Fields.
The 49ers.
Yeah. It's the 49ers. Yeah.
The Bears are just looking for a rebuild this year.
I got some faith in Justin Fields, but I just don't think this year is the year for them. I think maybe next year they'll get a little closer, but I definitely got 49ers here.
Yeah. I think it's a quick one to talk about.
Yeah. Nathan, who you picking in this game?
I got the 49ers, to be honest.
Yeah. That's an easy one. Yeah.
Nick Bosa, Trey Lance, first season, I guess.
Moving on, Nick, Steelers, Bengals, who you got?
Mitchell Trubisky versus Joe Burrow.
Ooh!
What a quarterback matchup. The first overall pick versus the second overall pick.
Telling you.
I think I gotta go with Joe Burrow here.
Joey B.
Again, I feel like it's a divisional game, but I feel like this one's just, again, It's the Bengals. They're stacked. They just
Yeah.
came off a Super Bowl loss. They're looking to
They're
come back.
riding high.
Yeah, that's another team that plays a lot of slack too, like how Nate was talking with Baker. But I mean, it's just, again, a quick explanation is just they just lost the Super Bowl. This team's talented all over.
I think Steelers got a good defense. They're just lacking in the quarterback spot. I don't trust Mitch Trubisky, and I don't think Kenny Pickett's ready. And again,
You
like
have a
you
lot of
said,
weapons, though.
they do have a lot of weapons. Yes, that's why I think like they could still be competitive, but I just don't trust their quarterback play. So I mean, Bengals are my team, bro.
Yeah.
We love the Bengals. I got to go with Joey B and Jamar Chase and them.
Like you even talked about before. I think it was before we even got into Discord, Nathan. That you think that when we talk about fantasy, you think that 3 players can have 1,000 yards on the Bengals with Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase.
Fantasy alert. Yeah, Nathan. We were saying that, like Nick said, they're gonna have a 3,000-yard receiving season with the 3 receivers they got.
I mean that's 100% possible, especially with them having the best triple threat receiving core in the league. Honestly,
yeah. Who are you picking in this game, Nathan?
honestly, as much of a fan that I am of George Pickens, because I love I love that guy and I love watching him play, I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
All went Bengals so far.
Yeah, we all went Bengals.
So yeah, we haven't picked. No one's picked a different team so far.
No, we've all been the same. Some of these are hard to like. The only one that we could have went opposite on, or maybe the Bills ones, and then the Panthers ones. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than that, the other ones have been pretty straightforward. And I think this
next
next one's pretty straightforward too. I think the Lions are going to be a lot more competitive this season, but I got high hopes for the Eagles this year. I think the Eagles take this. I think they're going to come out and be a completely different offense. I mean, like same identity, but it's going to look a lot better. And I'm hearing that Jalen Hurts is more accurate as ever right now. So I'm definitely going with the Eagles.
Something.
What?
What I heard in training camp is the Dolphins absolutely shit on the Eagles. So.
Well, nobody gives a fuck about training camp fucking teams going against teams, bro. That shit don't matter.
I'm just trolling, but I'm not. We talked about it before. I'm not a big fan of Dan Campbell at all. I think we've mentioned it like multiple times now that like we feel like he's just like a motivating type of coach. But
yeah,
once you start losing and the losing season starts stacking, then being a motivating player coach doesn't really fucking work, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Who you got, Nathan? Eagles too, I probably guess.
Yeah, honestly, I just feel like I'm excited to see how the Lions are going to turn out in a couple of years because I just feel like they're just getting better and better. But I mean, with the Eagles, and I mean, now they have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert, and I mean, Jalen Hurts on the rushing attack last year was just great. Not to mention, he literally looks like a linebacker now. How humongous he is. And then not to mention, in the draft, they had Nakobe Dean. They snagged him in the late rounds, which he's healthy. They also, got Jordan Davis. And I think they even got that corner from the Rams, the C.J. Gardner-Johnson or whatever.
From the Saints, yeah.
Yeah. No, why did I say the Rams? I mean the Saints. Yeah, they just got him matched up with Darius Slay. I just feel like the Eagles are probably going to take that division, to be honest. They'll win this game, too.
Like it. Colts Texans. I'm just gonna say it now. I might pick against the Texans all season long. So just be ready for it. But I'm taking Colts in a landslide here. I just don't see the Texans being competitive. I think the Colts are potential division winners. They're gonna have a tough fight with the Titans, but I think Colts take this.
There's nothing to say.
Nah, bro. Fuck the Texans.
Texans
broke
look
my
like they're
heart.
going to be a top 3 pick.
In the draft.
Yeah, like it just, I don't see I don't see how you can argue anything for the Texans positive right now.
Nathan might.
He can try, but he needs an Oscar performance to convince me to.
Let's hear it, Nathan. What you got?
I mean, every single year, I feel like the Texans always have a great game with one of the division guys. I mean, I remember last year, first week. I mean, they went against the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence's first game, and everyone was like, "Oh, the Jaguars are going to win by a landslide." I mean, they came out of nowhere and they smoked them. I just feel like that offense is just a little bit weak. Their offensive line is good. Jonathan Taylor, yes, but whenever it comes to the basket game, really, all they have is Michael Pittman, and I mean, I really, with Alec Pierce, haven't really seen a wow thing out of him. I mean, he's a good receiver, and I feel like he'll catch his identity later in the season. But that defense is really what's going to win them this game. But I mean, you got Texans who, they got Stingley, they re-signed Desmond King. I'm not saying that the Texans are going to win, but I feel like they're on a better roll up, especially with Davis Mills being their right now quarterback. I don't think he's going to be their franchise guy, but I feel like he's the right now type of quarterback. But I mean, I feel like the Colts are. I feel like it'll be a better game than what a lot of people say, because I feel like Davis Mills and Brandon Cooks, Damian Pierce, and John Mechie. I feel like that offense is going to make it a pretty good game.
Well, real quick before you get into too much, John Mechie's out for the season.
Okay, my bad. So they got Davis Mills, Brandon Cooks,
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins. But
yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm not necessarily going to disagree with that. Game. I could see the Texans being somewhat competitive. I'm just a Texans hater right now for the next couple weeks, month, however it lasts. I'm a Texans fan. We all know this, but I'm still just heartbroken about everything with this organization. So right now, I'm the biggest Texans hater. And I hate to say it, but I am. You know what I mean? So
no, yeah.
Again, like divisional games are always a toss-up. Like I've seen Miami beat good New England teams.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much like every year. Like they'll split one game, but I think the Colts really upgraded. No one talked about it with Matt Ryan though over Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz lost in their playoffs, and I think Matt Ryan's a lot better than Carson Wentz.
I mean, but I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this. But I mean, the Colts brought in Stephon Gilmore pair with Kenny Moore.
Yeah.
And then not to mention, you got Darius Leonard or Shaquille Leonard, whatever he wants to be called, then DeForest Buckner, and then Unique Ngakoue. Wait, did they bring in Unique Ngakoue?
I'm not sure.
I think.
Yeah, they did. They traded from the Raiders. They got him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that defense is
going
to be good. So.
Real quick before we get into the Patriots Dolphins, we had a couple comments. Somebody asked, Houston or Miami, who wins? Real quick.
Miami.
Don't get into too much detail about it, but Houston or Miami, who wins? Who y'all got?
I would say Miami.
Miami, Nathan?
I'd say Miami.
I'd say Miami as well. Okay. Next one, Houston versus Browns. Who wins?
Browns. Wait. Are we talking about like this year, like Week 13 Browns, or like Browns versus Texans?
We're talking like that's a good question, but I would say like
I don't even know. I'm assuming it's just like whatever roster they have.
Yeah, I think like right now, Houston Browns. Who you got?
I still got the Browns, to be honest.
I think fuck. I think I might take Houston in that one as well. Surprisingly.
Yeah, I think I really don't like Jacoby Brissett.
That's a tough one for me.
But I'm not a big fan of that offensive line versus Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney.
Triple team them.
I mean, you also got Jadeveon Clowney.
I'm not high on Jadeveon Clowney, honestly. As a first overall pick, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. You thought they were starting Davis? No, they are starting Davis Mills. He's talking about Jacoby Brissett on the Browns. He's their quarterback now.
Yeah. Sorry for not clarifying that.
Titans win AFC South easily. I could see the Colts maybe
I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
a little bit of a bloodbath with the Colts there.
I think so.
Alright.
Moving on
Patriots
to the
and
Patriots
Dolphins.
Dolphins, Nick.
Game.
Who you got?
Dolphins.
Nathan?
Dolphins.
Y'all need to say anything about that, or y'all just straight up Dolphins?
It's just, I mean, we talked about it so many times. Like, we talked about it as the losers. We talked about it as the Dolphins the winners. Like I said, I think this is Bill Belichick's legacy season. Like, Tom Brady's already proven that he can go out there and win without Bill. What can Bill do without Tom? He hasn't done shit. He went to the Browns, got fired, went to the Jets, left the Jets to go to the Patriots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like he hasn't proven to me that he's a GOAT coach because like without a good quarterback, he hasn't done anything. So
I mean, I
and
agree.
they're in the Miami right now where they always struggle because they're never good for the Heat.
Yeah.
And with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they're both. Jalen Waddle just getting back to practice with those two, just running deep routes, and then you got Cedric Wilson and Mike Gesicki, Raheem Mostert. Like you're gonna get tired chasing that team around all day. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. That team's too
And then you
fast.
got Chase Edmonds. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, I feel like Patriots.
Okay, I
are
just want to
on
say real
JC
quick. This guy
Jackson.
commented and said they added a deep threat with Devontae Parker. That is cap.
Devontae Parker is washed. He had
That
like
is
one
not.
good season.
That is not a deep threat. That is literally a jump ball, and you're hoping he catches it, and then you're hoping he doesn't pull his hamstring coming down on the catch because that will happen. Anyway, sorry, Nick, you can continue. You can continue.
Nathan, who you got? Or what do you got to say about it?
Yeah, you had something to say. I don't know what he was gonna say though.
Really, I feel like you got. I mean, the Patriots lost J.C. Jackson. They don't have Stephon Gilmore. And I mean, whenever you've got the 2 speed demons, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle,
Yeah.
then you got a pretty decent slot receiver, Cedric Wilson, and Mike Gesicki. You're gonna they're gonna kind of tear up that defense because that secondary is pretty weak. So I mean, I just feel like they're gonna get extremely tired chasing that defense. I mean, chasing those receivers around.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick the Dolphins as well. I'm gonna throw this out there, and I might be completely wrong at the end of the season, but I just kind of want it on record now. There's a lot of people out there saying that the Patriots are gonna be competitive and they're gonna do well, and I think it's probably a possibility because they are the Patriots with Bill Belichick.
I think it's just the
But
with Bill.
I'm saying it right now. I think the Patriots are gonna be shit. I don't think Mac Jones is a good quarterback. I just don't. Like
I'm not gonna say he's a bad quarterback.
I don't think he's a bad quarterback, but he's just not
he's
that
like an average quarterback.
Yeah, he's
like
not that guy that's gonna just put you over the top. You know what I mean? Like I just don't see the Patriots being competitive at all. I could see this game being somewhat competitive because it's a division game and they always play each other tough. But Dolphins definitely take this, and like I said, I just want it on the record. I don't think the Patriots are gonna be good this year. A lot of people are trying to say they're going to win the division or they're going to make the playoffs. I don't see that happening.
I just think with the offense too that he plays in with that Bill style offense is just so limiting that like you'll never really know if he's that good because he's so limited on what he can do.
Yeah.
Because it's always those underneath routes. That's it. Like throw the ball here, check down, don't do anything crazy type of thing. But I'm on board with the Patriots being like a top 5 pick in the draft. Like I don't think they're going to be good this year.
I don't think so.
And then you have this guy commenting again, can Tua throw the deep ball? And Tyreek Hill in Miami does give him a solid target.
No,
I mean, say, if you're in the all I'm gonna say is if you're in the NFL, there's no way you don't make every throw in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me that there's even a concept that this guy can't throw the ball 50 yards at least. Like I don't understand why that's even a topic of debate.
Tua's an accurate quarterback too. Like I know there's a lot of hate on Tua and I'm not the biggest fan of him by any means, but I think he can get the job done if he's got some weapons.
Even
and
backup
got some
quarterbacks
blocking.
can throw the ball like 50 yards. Like,
yeah.
I don't understand why that's even a topic of debate. It's so weird.
Moving on to the Ravens and Jets. I think this one's going to be an easy pick for me. I'm going with the Ravens all day. I think Lamar Jackson's that fucking guy. But Jets are going to be a little more competitive this year.
MVP?
I think I picked him
MVP,
for MVP. Yeah, Ravens are gonna be the Ravens as always. Jets are gonna be more competitive. I could see them winning maybe 6 games this year.
Zach
So
Wilson will not be starting this game.
Yeah, he won't be starting. But I'm picking the Ravens here.
Was it Joe?
It's gonna be Joe Flacco. Yeah. But I'm real quick. I am excited to see how the Jets turn out because they do have a lot of fresh faces, young players. Like I think they're on the come up. I just don't think this year is the year.
Yeah, I mean we talked about the Jets before on the winners and losers as well. I think Garrett Wilson's a nice addition to the draft. You got Elijah Mitchell, Brees Hall at running back with Michael Carter. Like those are some solid pieces right there. Their O-line, not sure what's gonna happen because they lost. Is it Meccan?
Mekhi Becton.
Yeah.
They lost him for the year, so I'm not sure if they're going to be interested in maybe getting rid of him or what to do with that. But what is it? Also, Sauce Gardner, is that his name?
Sauce Gardner, yeah, a guy.
Like solid pick, solid draft. I just really don't think they're going to be a crazy good team this year, but they're definitely moving in the right direction.
Oh yeah,
I think they could fight the Patriots though for third.
yeah, you forgot to mention they got Garrett Wilson too.
Oh, no, I said Garrett Wilson.
You did? Oh, you said Jarrett.
Yeah,
That's why.
I said Garrett Wilson, and then Elijah Mitchell
Mm-hmm.
or Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore. Sorry, Elijah Moore.
Nathan, who you got?
I feel like it'll be a good game. Is Lamar holding out with the contract, or is he
Nah,
just gonna go?
He
All
said
he'll
once the
play.
season starts, he's not even going to worry about the contract
Yeah, he's
anymore.
gonna play.
Yeah.
Okay. I know Craig, he's big fan of Lamar, but I'm just not. I hate to say it. I know Lamar. He's a good fantasy quarterback just because he can run the ball, but just last
Hater.
year, how kind of careless he was with that football.
Hater.
16 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. He only had 3 more touchdowns to interceptions.
Look, I'm the biggest Lamar fan. I'll say he had a shit year last year. That's absolutely true. Those stats are horrendous. The guy was careless with the ball. But carry on.
I know, but I mean, he lost Marquise Brown, and his receivers are going to consist of Rashad Bateman, who
Goat.
had a mediocre year.
He played 5 games, Nathan. He played 5
that,
games.
Yeah, I know. Mediocre year.
He
then
was
he got
injured. He played 5 games and was injured the whole first half of the season. He got injured late in college or at the combine or something like that, and was out the whole season except for like the last 5 or 6 games. But carry on.
No, I know that, but
got Mark
and
Andrews
then
and
you got Devin Duvernay, who, he's a good kick returner.
DeMarcus Robinson.
Mark Andrews, DeMarcus Robinson, but Mark Andrews, I feel like is going to be his big target this year, like he always is. But J.K. Dobbins, he's still limping around practice. They said he might play in week 1, but at the same time, he's most likely going to be like extremely limited because he's still not fully recovered. Like if you watch the training camp videos, he's still limping around.
There's no way you're talking about that video that somebody posted like last week. The guy was not even limping, bro. The guy was walking. If you watch every player on that field, they have some sort of tweak when they walk like that. That's just how it is. But carry on.
No, I get that, but I mean, they've said several times that he's going to have a limited growth.
No, you're right. You're right. 100%.
But and I feel like
Are you taking the Jets? Like, what's going on?
I'm gonna take the Jets on the.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm gonna take the Jets. I feel like they just have a lot of gracious talent. I mean, the Milf Hunter isn't gonna be on the team, but I feel like Joe Flacco, he's gonna have the one good game, and I feel like he's against his old team, and I feel like the Jets might honestly pull off the upset. To be honest.
Okay. Another revenge game, FYI. Like you said.
Saying real quick in your chat here, he was talking about Garrett Wilson. He said he doesn't think he's not on anyone's radar. He said Brees Hall might be all right. And he said that J.K. Dobbins was back. They're at New York. And he said your chat was saying that it could be a coin flip.
Yeah.
And then he was talking about the Jets O-line. And he said if the Jets O-line shows up and the rookies are studs, they're going to be scary, but there's a ton of unknown with that team. But, yeah. Pretty much what
I mean, they also did just bring in DJ Reed, who's honestly one of the most underrated corners. Not being biased because he's a Seahawks player, but I mean,
biased.
One of the most underrated. No, if you look at his stats, he had one of the lowest passer ratings out of all corners in the league.
Nah, I hear you, bro.
I think the Jets are a potential team. Like it depends.
It just like the guy in chat was saying, like a lot of unknowns. We don't know exactly what's gonna happen. If they come out and play great, like. I could definitely see them maybe taking this game. If they play decent or well, it could be a close game, but I'm just Ravens fan. I'm taking the Ravens here.
I just see the game being that they either come out, play great, keep the game close, but lose, or they play like rookies and they just get smoked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I can see the games going.
Yeah, he said again in the chat, which makes sense. Wouldn't be surprised if Jets won. That's all I'm saying, but I wouldn't bet it. So, again, pretty much what we're saying.
You want to put his money where his mouth is.
Yeah. Moving on to the Jags to the Commanders. Yeah.
Kind of.
What you got, Nick?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. The Commanders got Carson Wentz at quarterback this season. They're bringing out a brand new team called the Commanders now.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of Scary Terry. I think he's looking for a contract, isn't he? Or did he? No, he actually did get paid. I think actually, didn't he?
I
Yeah,
think
he
so.
got paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got
So they got Antonio Gibson, who they went on record saying he was gonna get benched, but now he's back to being running back one because Brian Robinson unfortunately got
Shot.
into that. Yeah, I was gonna put it in a better way, but yeah,
I don't know if there's any better way to say I just got
yeah.
shot.
I was gonna say it
So
was an unfortunate accident, but yeah, you can say that. But I mean, Trevor Lawrence coming back, first overall pick, second year. Travis Etienne will be back. They signed Christian Kirk to the most ridiculous contract I've ever seen. But I think on paper you got to go with the Commanders. But this is another one where I could see the Jaguars could take it. You know what I mean?
who are you taking?
I'm going to go Commanders.
Okay. Nathan?
I think the Commanders'
Um,
defense could outplay that O-line. Like that's probably going to be the big factor for me.
That's if the 4 first rounds on the defensive line show up this year because they didn't last
Yeah,
year.
they don't. Yeah, Nathan knows all about that. But yeah,
Honestly,
Nathan,
I'm
you
gonna
got
go with the the Commanders.
Okay.
Just, I feel like Carson Wentz is gonna have a couple good games this season. Like the Jaguars defense is a little weak. They just Jack too, so I feel like they're just gonna be a little weak.
I'm going to just speak up a little bit, my guy, next time, but I hear you. Yeah.
Jaguars had back-to-back first overall picks. So
Yeah. No, I mean, it's
how much more
gonna
can you expect?
it's gonna be a tough game to pick. I'm not a believer in Carson Wentz, and I think
Me neither.
the Jags added some pieces here. They got a new coach. I think their culture changed. I'm kind of banking and not like banking on it, but like I'm hoping Trevor Lawrence has a hell of a lot better season this year. I'm gonna go Jags. Again, kind of a toss up here, but I'm going Jags. He needs to prove himself, and I feel like this year he's gonna come out and do it and shut all the haters up. So, moving on to the Titans and the Giants. I'm going to take the Titans in this game. I think the Giants are in fucking shambles. And I think the Titans are going to come out and show everybody that Derrick Henry is still the best running back in the league. And he's probably going to score 2 touchdowns and have 150 yards against the Giants. So I'm taking the Titans here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Titans outmatch the Giants in every way possible. I think Brian Daboll looks like a decent coach. Might be the future for them, but they're in 2 different places. Like one's an AFC contending type team, and the other one's looking forward to the draft, basically looking to rebuild that team up.
Yeah.
I think King Henry comes back and he just sets everyone up and just runs all over that Giants defense, unfortunately.
Yep. Nathan?
I feel like honestly, I'm gonna go with the Titans. No comment.
Okay.
No problem. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Some
like I
things
said,
just don't need to be
there's on
said.
opposite ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum. Like one's rebuilding and one's contending. Like,
Yeah. No, 100%. Next, and by the way, I forgot to say, starting with the Titans.
that was the first 4 o'clock game.
Yeah, the first 4 o'clock game. Nice, we're on the same page. Love that. First 4 o'clock game with the Titans and the Giants. I was looking at it yesterday, and we've got some pretty solid 4 o'clock games. So it looks like all the way across the board, whether it's Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, like Sunday games, like we have good games across the board all over the place.
Monday night game is terrible. I'll tell you that.
It's a revenge game, but we'll get into that when we
No.
get down there. But moving on to the Chiefs Cardinals, I could potentially see in this be a really
I have
good
a
game.
question real quick.
Carry on.
Out of these 4 o'clock games, if you're choosing one game to watch, are you watching the Chargers and the Raiders, or the Chiefs, Cardinals, or the Packers?
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm watching Red Zone. I'm watching all of them, but
Okay, but if you had to choose one, because I'm kind of thinking on like who would I would watch. Like that Chargers Raiders game looks kind of nice.
the Chargers is always fun to watch because their offense is disgusting. I think it's tough because, like, for me, it's Chargers, Raiders, or Vikings, Packers because Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that's what I said.
For,
Those 3 games. Out of those 3 games.
no, I know, but I'm saying like I'm breaking it down to it's for me. It's either between the 2 games.
Oh, okay.
But I'm probably watching the Chargers Raiders.
That's what I'm saying. Nathan, who would you watch out of those 3
Honestly,
games?
the Chargers and the Raiders, just
Yeah.
because of all the additions that they had, I feel like it'd be more interesting to kind of see how those players play on the
Oh
new
yeah,
teams.
the AFC West added so much. I just every game that they're in this year is going to be a fun game to watch.
All right,
I honestly think it's
back to
funny
the
how
Cardinals.
What'd
I
you
think
say?
it's funny how it went from the best division in the NFL was the NFC West, and now they're saying it's the AFC West. So I mean, it just kind of flipped.
That is funny. That is true. Yeah, back to the Chiefs Cardinals. I think this is going to be a competitive game. Cardinals are known to kind of start off hot and kind of tail off towards the end of the year. I remember last year they smoked the Titans at the first game of the year.
New November.
Yeah,
When Call of Duty
when the
comes
new
out.
Call of Duty comes out, Kyler Murray takes a shit. But by the way, real quick, just reading chat. B, I'm not sure about the appeal, but as far as I'm understanding right now, Hopkins is still out for 6 games. But
I didn't know he appealed that. I thought he just took
yeah,
it.
they said he was gonna appeal it, but I haven't heard anything from it since.
I
So
would assume that he probably just took it on the wrist.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
most of the time with those situations, they try to appeal it, and I think they get denied, so they just end up saying, "Fuck it, I'll take the suspension or whatever."
It's
But-
so weird that it goes to that, like how Watson's case went to that woman, and then it didn't even matter anyway because then
Yeah,
what's we call it? It goes right back to the commission if they want it. So Goodell just like overturned it anyway.
yeah, no,
It's such a weird process to me, but carry on.
no, yeah, I know that. I'm just saying I don't know if it's gonna be if the appeal got flipped or not. But anyways,
After the game here, who are you taking?
Cardinals Chiefs.
You taking the Cardinals?
I think I'm going to take the Cardinals. Fuck it.
Wow. Okay.
I think Cardinals start off hot again like they did last year. I think Chiefs need a couple weeks to figure out what they're doing. Yeah, they got Pat Mahomes. Yeah, they got Travis Kelce. Like, I know they have weapons. I'm not saying they don't, but I'm taking the Cardinals here.
I'm gonna go with Chiefs.
Chiefs?
I think missing Tyreek is gonna be a little bit of an impact, but I think it's gonna be like you kind of like don't skip a beat type of thing. Like you got Travis Kelce, who's been an 1,000-yard receiver basically every year. I think I saw a record. I'm not gonna say what the record is because I don't remember, but it was like something like consistent seasons with 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he's
Like
up
he could
there.
he could pass that or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
I think it was the
again,
tight end record for like most 1,000
Yeah,
yard
like
seasons or
most-
something. I
most
think it
1,000
was
yards,
one
like,
behind
consistently.
Tony Gonzalez or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think that team's just really talented. Pat Mahomes is arguably the best quarterback in the league, if not top 3, top 5. Travis Kelce's really good. They got Sky Moore. They got Juju Smith-Schuster. I think is an underrated player that could maybe fill that role. I'm trying to think who else did they have too at wide receiver? Was it Sammy Watkins? I think.
No, he's on the Packers.
Was it the Packers? Okay. Who else is the third wide receiver then? It's someone else. Is
Mecole
it Marcus
Hardman.
Cantlin?
Mecole Hardman and Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah, okay. So they got some wide receivers that could potentially kind of do like a wide receiver by committee type thing, not like how it was with Tyreek just being the
Yeah.
best one.
I think they'll feature Kelce and then kind of dabble in some.
That's what I'm saying.
Juju,
They got
some-
other players to fill in
yeah.
a little bit, but yeah, I think the Chiefs are probably gonna be better than the Cardinals this year for sure.
Nathan?
I think honestly, I'm going to take the Chiefs. You just can't bet against Patrick. We cannot bet against Patrick Mahomes. And I feel like with the way that defense is, it was just speed guys that were just taking the top off the defenses. But I mean, now you got Juju Smith-Schuster and Travis Kelce, who are kind of your like route runners / middle of the field type guys. And then you got Mecole Hardman and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, which Mecole Hardman is, there's been reports that he's just as fast as Tyreek Hill. Not only that, but you got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who's that big play guy in Green Bay. So I feel like you got 2 guys who can kind of run the routes and kind of stay in the middle of the field, while you got 2 other guys that are going to take the top off the defense. Not to mention you got a quarterback who's done 1,000 yards.
I was gonna say too, they lost the Honey Badger on defense for the Chiefs, but they did replace him with Justin Reed, who I think is a pretty good signing.
Yeah, he's not better than Honey Badger, but he's up there.
He's almost just as good.
He's
Like,
almost just as good, 100%. Yeah.
but
And I mean,
you
the
know,
Cardinals also did lose, Chandler Jones, and J.J. Watt's kind of taken a step down in his career. So I just feel
yeah,
like Mahomes is going to have a little bit too much time
Do we see
to
a
and get
JJ
a little
Watt?
comfortable.
A JJ Watt back in his old form this year? Do we
No.
think he stays healthy? No?
No.
No?
he's done.
You think he's done?
I
I
think he's
saw
got.
I saw this
I think he could get like maybe 5 sacks, but he's done from like those 10 plus sacks seasons.
yeah.
I think.
This is off topic of like picking games, but I saw this video and it was somebody was asking TJ Watt who's better, him or JJ, and TJ was pretty much saying like you just can't compare us because at one point
He was so much better.
JJ Watt was literally just a nuisance on the field and was just so much better. Like even TJ Watt said at one point like JJ was the best to ever do it, or would have been if he stayed healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
a lot of injuries took
yeah,
a toll on him.
but I don't know. Another thing I keep forgetting to point out like home field things. I know a lot of people worry about home field and all that. I feel like
I think
nowadays
it's
and nowadays NFL, bro, I don't think home field matters in my opinion.
I think it matters at all.
Yeah.
You can always go into that stadium and kick the shit out of them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I think it's tough sometimes going against like in the Chiefs Stadium. Like I know it gets really loud and things like that, but I think they've figured out ways to get past that.
If you are talented enough and you put points up on the board, that crowd don't matter at all. You
Yeah.
take the win of those tails, it don't matter.
But I will say, moving on to the next game, we got Chargers Raiders. We all three said we would watch this game out of the 4
This
o'clock
is
games.
another divisional game too.
Another divisional game. I said this last episode to Nick. Every time the Chargers every time any AFC West team plays each other, you need to watch that game because it is going to be a playoff type game, and it's going to be so fun to watch. And this one is kind of a toss. I guess it could be a toss up because division. We know the AFC West is nasty.
Adams versus Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen and Nick Williams.
I'm taking the Chargers in this. I think their offense is just undeniably good, man. I know the Raiders added some pieces on defense, and they were competitive last year. We saw the last game of the year between the two. Like, it was nuts, but I think Chargers win this game.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know everything about the offense. They got Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. They even drafted another rookie running back. I don't remember his name is. They got Justin Herbert at quarterback. Yes, thank you, Nathan. They got Keenan Allen. They got Mike Williams. But let's not forget about that defense. They added Khalil Mack. And then they have Joey Bosa. Like, that's a solid defense. And
So
J.C.
good.
Jackson.
Yep.
That could be...
With Derwin James and
yes.
Asante Samuel, right?
Exactly. So it's like that could be a solid top 10, top 5 defense.
I will say real quick, I think the only reason it may not be is because they're having to go against each other all year long.
They're going to be playing in a tough division, but I still think their defense could be on paper, or on talent-wise a top 5 defense,
100%.
but maybe on paper they might not be.
Yeah.
Because they play against in a hard division, but I'm going Chargers all the way. I will say, though, the Raiders, like I said, were my winners in the offseason, but I think they're just outmatched in this division a little bit.
I think so. Nathan?
I'm gonna kind of keep it unbiased because the Raiders are one of my favorite teams. But I am gonna say the Raiders.
Okay.
Just because, and I'm looking at the chat saying, he's not B is not sold on Derek Carr, and I mean, looking at Derek Carr last season where he lost his top target, middle of the season, he lost. I keep forgetting his name. Middle of the season.
Aaron Wallace?
The defensive guy. No, the defensive guy that was like threatening to shoot some people, so they had to cut him.
It's not what's his name? The Dolphins signed him. I forget his name. They're like those practice squad. You remember the first round pick, right?
Yeah, he was their first round pick. But I mean, and losing his head coach, midway through the season, and Darren Waller struggled with injuries.
It was Damian Arnett.
Still,
Arnett,
David Arnett, yeah,
that's what it was.
And I mean, Waller struggled with injuries and literally struggling to stay on the field. He was still able to keep the team going, still put up top numbers in the league, and and still able to lead that team to a playoff berth. Yeah, they lost in the first round, but that was a team that was sort of injured, but and now looking at them, you got Derek Carr who's now got Devontae Adams. He has a healthy Darren Waller. Hunter Renfro is honestly he's one of the best route runners in the league. Just seeing how well he runs his routes, and then not to mention that defense. You got the dual edge threat, and I just feel like Herbert's going to have, he's not going to be comfortable, and I feel like the Raiders are going to pull off an upset. And honestly, I don't see how Derek Carr, if I were to pick anybody to win MVP, Derek Carr would be in my top 3 to pick him to win MVP.
I like it. I mean, I'm a believer in Derek Carr. Go ahead.
A lot of people aren't talking about it, but can we talk about how bad Mike Mayock was at drafting?
Terrible.
Considering they were really high on him because he used to do the combine stuff, and it's I'm just looking at their draft classes from past years.
None of them are on the team now.
Pretty much, yeah. None of them are from that one year, but he drafted Ceylon Farrell at number 4 overall. Josh Jacobs was not bad, but Jonathan Abram was not good. Tayron Mullen, Max Crosby, Foster Moreau.
When did he get
Renfro.
Max Crosby in the draft?
That was pick 106.
See, that's a good pick because he's there. I'll give him that pick. Max Crosby's a fucking demon.
Out of that draft, you like Josh Jacobs. I think Mullen's been pretty solid, and then Max Crosby basically, and Foster Moreau's been okay, and Renfro. Moving on to 2020, Henry Ruggs the third at number 12, Damon Arnett at number 19. Those are first-round picks. Both are not even on the team anymore. Lynn Bolden was not even on the team when I started the draft. That was a third-round pick. Brian Edwards made it to the team. I think they traded him just this year, though.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, he's on the Falcons
John
now.
Simpson and then Meek Robinson. And then 2021 is Alex Ledford, who just left the team. Trayvon Morick, Malcolm Konosi, Davon Diablo, Tyree Gipsy, Nate Hobbs, and Jimmy Ricey. Just all around terrible picks.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm shocked that no one ever talked about it because he just kind of got fired and no one really said anything. But it's he was really bad.
So bad at drafting.
Especially in the first round. But moving on here.
Real quick, I wouldn't necessarily say that that's an upset that you picked them, Nathan. These are division games, but I could see it going either way. But again, I just prefer the Chargers. But I just want to clarify. I don't think that's an upset.
I don't consider division games upsets.
Yeah, no,
just because there's such a 50-50 game on paper that you play, you build your team to beat the teams in the division. So it's you know exactly what you're doing and what you need to do to beat these teams.
Yeah.
You've been playing them for years. You know what to do.
Moving on to
if you want to say an upset, it would be the Giants beating the Titans. That's an upset.
Yeah. Next we got Vikings Packers. Should be another good game.
How many divisional games week one, my lord?
It's a lot, yeah. Another divisional game could go either way. Excuse me.
My face locked in. Vikings.
Do what?
Vikings.
Vikings? Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings.
My favorite team. My favorite team to watch this year.
I'm taking the Vikings as well. I think their new offense comes out and people are gonna be like, "Whoa, what the hell is that?" We like it. But I'm taking the Vikings in this game as well.
Agreed. I'm taking the Vikings.
JJ going all the way.
Jay Jettas, let's go, baby.
All the way this year.
Yeah, I think Rodgers might struggle a little bit. I think he still does well, but I think Vikings for sure.
I think Rodgers is still gonna do well.
Yeah, it's Aaron fucking Rodgers.
He's too good to not be bad, but
yeah,
he's just gonna have a rough go probably at the first couple of weeks.
Real quick, what do we think the odds on Aaron Rodgers going back to back MVPs?
Not happening. There's no way.
You
he
think
didn't deserve it last year. It should have been Tom Brady.
You think if he had Devontae Adams, he would potentially go for it again?
Oh yeah, but without Devontae, I think it's cut down way down there now.
I hear you. I just wanted to ask that question. Buccaneers Cowboys. This was if I'm not mistaken, the Thursday night game for the first week of the year last year. Yeah. Really good game. I think the Bucs are not necessarily going to be as good as they were last year and the year before, but I think the Cowboys are kind of in shambles as well. They really their wide receivers are struggling. I know they got CeeDee Lamb, but Michael Gallup's out. They got Jalen Tolbert, I think, right? He'll be pretty
Yes.
solid. But I think the Bucks win this one. I think Tom Brady does Tom Brady things and
I will
wins
never
this
bet
game.
against Tom Brady.
It's so hard to.
I will
man.
never
Like,
do it.
It's
He's
so
just
hard.
so good. So fucking good. Like I said, I'm going Bucks all the way. Like, I love that offense. I have a couple players in fantasy from that offense. Leonard Burnett, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Tom Brady. Like, that's just a solid team. Their defense is always pretty solid now. I think the Cowboys, like you said, they lost to Amari Cooper. I think that's a big loss for them. Excuse me. I think the Cowboys are kind of trending a little bit downward
I could see
compared to
that.
the other teams in the division.
Yep.
I still think they can win the division just because it's a weaker division, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles somehow pull up on them and smoke their shit, you know?
I will say before we get Nathan's take on this game, earlier I said that I'm probably going to bet against the Texans all season, and it's probably going to be the same thing for the Cowboys because nobody likes the fucking Cowboys. So I'll probably be betting against them all season as well because I'm the number one. I'm probably more of a Cowboys hater than I am a Texans hater. You know what I mean? So, moving on. Nathan, who you got in this game?
I hate the Cowboys with a passion. I got to go Buccaneers. And honestly, I just feel like Trayvon Diggs is gonna give up like 150 yards because he's just
He
trash.
gave up 1,000 yards last year.
He
Dude
gave up
gets torched all
1,100
the
yards,
time.
and he literally. I don't even know how people. I mean, I can get the interceptions, but just giving up 1,100 yards and seeing how in training camp he's being destroyed by practice squad wide receivers and everything.
Yikes.
Deleted Twitter.
He's literally.
I think it was an undrafted wide
Cooked by
receiver that cooked
practice.
this shit, wasn't it?
Yeah. Bro, he gets cooked by everybody.
And everybody
I mean-
praised him like he's the best corner in the league. And honestly, I don't know why. If you look at some of the interceptions were good coverages, but the other ones is whenever the balls are thrown like directly at him. Like one of the ones where he caught an interception over
I think he could be
literally
a good wide
Taylor
receiver, maybe,
Heineke
but
literally threw the ball directly at him.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a good wide receiver, honestly.
Yeah, he should have done what Stephon Diggs did and fucking been a wide receiver, not a cornerback.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
Wait, so you're going Bucks too, Nathan, then?
Yeah,
he's going Bucks.
Okay.
Monday night game, we got another revenge game, like the third or fourth one this fucking first week, it seems like.
Not a fan of this game.
I think Broncos, just real quick, I think Broncos probably take this like in a landslide, and there's no buts like for the Seahawks side. I just wanted to point out that Russell Wilson going against his old team.
Should be good TV, but
It's going to be good TV,
I think
but
the Broncos
take this all day.
better, man.
Yeah.
Like, their defense was good last year. They got Jerry Jeudy back. He seems like he's gonna be healthy now, ready to go. They got what's the other one? Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
They got I think what's the running back? Javonte Williams. They
Javonte
got
Williams,
Melvin
Melvin Gordon.
They signed him back.
Yeah.
Like, I think this team is really good. I don't really believe in Geno Smith. We've seen him before. We've seen Drew Lock before. They're just not very good quarterbacks. They've always been average, below average. I still think though that the Seahawks, it would not be like a surprising like upset if they do win because their offense is still talented. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? Like, I do like Tyler Lockett. He's always been solid. I do like DK Metcalf. He looks like he's gonna be a beast. Running back's a little bit of a toss up with Kenneth Walker and Rashad Penny. Losing Chris Carson's kind of a big downgrade, but I really like Russell Wilson. I think he's a good quarterback. He always seems to play the first couple of weeks like an MVP, and then he almost is like Kyler Murray where he falls off a little bit. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to take the Broncos in this one.
I will say before we get Nathan's take on this, actually, I don't know because I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, I guess we just give Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan,
Get
all
Nathan's
you.
take.
As much as it pains me to say it, I'm gonna have.
Oh wait,
to go
actually, I have
Broncos.
one question before you say this, Nathan. Are you following Russell to be a Broncos fan, or are you staying at the Seahawks?
I think that's what I was going to say, something similar to that.
Are you riding or dying with the Seahawks this year, or are you
I'm
moving
staying
over
with
to
the
the Broncos?
Seahawks, but I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on. Like obviously, like
You're gonna watch those games, basically.
I'm gonna I'm gonna kind of watch them. I'm gonna kind of see how they're going. I mean,
That's
if
fair
my
enough.
top three teams, it'll be like my top three favorite teams are the Seahawks, Broncos, and Raiders.
Okay, I
Um,
mean that's fair.
but as much as it pains me, I'm gonna say the Broncos just because looking at the Seahawks and just how terrible their offseason were, I just don't see them. I feel like I honestly don't see them doing anything. It's just that coach
Yeah.
that office and that organization side, other than the players, is just downright terrible. The signings that they had, the people that they let go, it's just it honestly baffles me how they re-signed Sidney Jones, but let go of DJ Reed. And another thing where they literally signed, I can't even remember his name, but they signed another corner from the Steelers who literally hasn't had an interception since 2017.
Yeah.
It's just it's terrible. I honestly do think it's funny though how all of a sudden Russell Wilson leaves and then they want to start drafting linemen. I mean, that's the only thing the guy wanted all of his the past couple of years, and then
Yeah.
they denied it, and then all of a sudden he leaves, and then they finally bring in linemen. But
I think
I
it's
just
funny that all three of our teams have terrible offensive lines.
So bad. Always too.
Even my girlfriend has a terrible offensive line on her team that's trying to be fixed.
Real quick, somebody in chat asked who the starting running back for Seattle is, and I want to answer this just because I love talking about this guy. Right now,
Penny, right?
right now we don't really know who the starter is. There's been kind of like back and forth in the training camps of who it's going to be. It might be Penny the first couple weeks, but I think at some point, pretty soon, that boy Kenneth Walker III is going to get the starting job, and he's going to fucking do work. I love that guy. I loved watching him fucking play at Michigan State. Like, I'm just such a big fan of him, and I hope he's the starting running back.
I'll touch in on this one. I feel like right now, what the Seahawks are going to do is they're going to start Penny just because they're not going to start a rookie over a guy, especially, and I know
Here we go.
Craig is
Here we go. Yes, I'm waiting for it.
Craig is going to destroy me on this one, but Penny had the highest from when he came back to the end of the season, he had the highest number yards per carry out of any running back in the league, and people labeled him as the most explosive running back. So I feel like these first couple weeks you're going to see, is he going to carry that on to the next to this next season?
Nope.
And then that's whenever they're going to start to look over on Kenneth Walker and maybe start splitting carries. But I mean, I feel like he will. I mean, I don't think I honestly don't know see how he's going to take a drop off, because I mean, I can see one or two games where he's going to perform that well, but whenever it was literally every single game where he was 150 plus yards and multiple touchdowns, that's something that
So
you know what I mean.
So you genuinely think that Rashad Penny is a better running back than Kenneth Walker?
Looking at
yes or no?
Yes or no?
Looking at the way he played, yes. Looking at the way he played last season, yes.
How long's Rashad Penny been in the league? 3 years now?
Yeah.
The man was healthy for 6 games in a row for the first time in his career?
And look at what he did with it.
Nathan, if anybody wonders why we got Nathan on the show, this is why. To talk about things like this. Nathan, hold on. Let me pull this up. So I'm not
pulling
wrong.
up. I have a hot take for you guys.
Yeah, lay it on us.
Does Pete Carroll retire after the season?
He needs to.
Did you see that video of him playing quarterback on Twitter? I was laughing at that.
I did not. That was funny. There we go. Here's what
Wait, so do you think he retires, Nathan?
I think the media will force him to retire, to be honest.
Craig, do you think he'll retire?
Everybody's against him. They wanted him gone after this season, but I really don't see the issue. I just think I don't know.
Okay, are you saying he retires?
Yeah, I feel like he'll retire.
I think he probably will. Yeah.
I think he'll retire. Where are you going? You just had this rushing stats. I mean.
Right here, Nathan. You're talking about these last 5 or 6 games of the season, right?
Yeah.
He played against Houston. Fucking Houston.
Terrible.
The Rams, I'll give you. Oh, wait. Rams, he went 11 for 39 against the fucking Rams. Then he played Chicago.
Look at the difference in carries, but look at the different carries. He had 16, 11, 17, 25, and 29.
My guy, if he had 6 more
Look at
carries.
the yards per game he was averaging.
Yeah.
Per carry, he was averaging 8.6. So yeah, you're gonna give him yards. He got stuffed. He had 3.5.
3.5.
And he goes back up to 7.9 playing against the shitty Bears.
Nathan, they were only down 10 points. It wasn't like he was completely out of the game. They lost 20-10. They stopped giving him the ball because he wasn't able to run against the defense. Explosive.
His longest
not
run
at
of
all.
the game was 10.
Yeah.
10 yards.
Next game, you got Chicago. He went 17 for 135. Chicago's defense was not there last season.
Look at Detroit.
Detroit, 25 for 170. They beat him 51-29. So, of course, he got a few extra carries because they're smoking him. He went for 170 because it's the Detroit fucking Lions. Look at Arizona. Their defense was ass at the end of the year. He went for 23 for 190 with 1 TD. Like, yes, those are good stats, but they're against teams that are, like, of lesser value or their defense was struggling at the end of the year. Like, it... You know what I mean?
I get that, but whenever CMC or Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry destroys the trash defense, everybody praises them. You get what I'm saying?
You know why they're praising them? Because whenever they play teams like the Rams, they're still going for 130 against them. Whenever your guy's going for 39 against them, like I'll give you that argument. He did good at the last 5. He was very explosive the last 5 or 6 games of the season. I'll give you that all day long. You're not wrong. But you have to look at who he was going against in the situation. Arizona didn't care about that last fucking game. They were already in the fucking playoffs. It's Detroit. It's Chicago. It's Houston. It's the fucking Rams that he didn't do shit against. Like, come on, man. Come on.
No, I get that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, look at that offensive line, too. And look what he had to run behind, and he still put up those stats.
My guy, it don't matter if that offensive line is good or not. You're going against the Detroit fucking Lions and the Houston Texans. They ain't got nobody on the other side. Anyways, because I knew that was coming at some point, bro. I knew it was coming. Fucking Rashad Penny, this fucking guy. Anyways, so that's gonna close out our predictions for week 1. We all took Broncos, right?
Yeah, I took Broncos. You took Broncos. I think the only one that Craig, you and I disagreed on, there's 2. It was the
Cardinals, Chiefs.
The Jaguars, Commanders, Chiefs, Cardinals, and I think that was it. Because we both took Bills, Panthers.
We only disagreed on 2.
Yeah, it was Jaguars, Commanders, and Chiefs, Cardinals. So good luck with that.
And by the way, me and Nick are going to be doing predictions like every week, right?
Yeah, we do it every week, and we got the records kept. So.
Yeah, we're doing it every week, and we're keeping like a history and records on a spreadsheet of who picks what and things like that and what our records are. So like at the end of the year or mid-season, we can look at it, and you know how all the ESPN shows do. They're like, this guy's 35 and 28 on his predictions and yada, yada, yada.
28.
So just something to keep up with.
28 and 39, just terrible.
Just terrible. Getting smoked.
But anyway, real quick, just let us know in the comments if you pick anyone different than us, if he fucked up somewhere, whatever, you let us know. Tell us.
Yeah. We're here for it.
If you think Craig's pick of the Jaguars is terrible, let him know.
It might be.
But moving on, I guess we can do like the little news cap part here. And the one thing I was going to talk about, well, 2 things I'm going to talk about is Russell Wilson signed a 5-year deal, which is based on an extension with the Broncos. He signed a 5-year deal worth $249 million. The signing bonus is $50 million. His average salary per season is $48 million. Guaranteed at signing is $124. His total guarantees is $161 million. And he will be a free agent in the year 2029 when he is 41 years old.
Yeah, I heard that he wants to end his career in Denver, and he wants Denver to he wants to turn Denver into a place where like people want to go in free agency. He wants it to be like a quote unquote dynasty, essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's
signing
his
that
reason
deal pretty
for that.
much solidifies him in Denver. Like, I don't see him being signed at 51.
Nah. And
Or I mean, 41
we all know Russell to kind of want to be a guy to stay where he's at. You know what I mean? He's never been that guy to try to move teams, which I feel like all those top tier quarterbacks, they like to stay in the spot they're at. So with that being said, I think that puts him the second highest paid quarterback, somewhere around there.
Yeah, he's second highest paid.
I'm not sure. He's just under that 50 million per year mark.
Yeah,
which is what people seem to be going for.
I think Aaron Rodgers is the first, right? And then I think, yeah.
I can pull it up in a second, but I was going to say there is a potential out after year 4 of this contract. It says here that they can get out with a 31.2 million dead cap cut if they wanted to cut him and get out of it, and that'd be 37 years old, turning 38.
Real quick, what are the odds on we thinking Russell Wilson being dog shit from now on?
I don't know. I think he had a bad year last year, but he was also hurt.
You think he gets back to himself in Denver?
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If he has a bad year this year, then that's when I'd write him off. But I'll give him one more year before I say that he's going to be falling off.
No, I mean, I agree too. I still think he's a great quarterback. It's just something to ask. You know what I mean?
But I was also going to say real quick that this contract to me probably solidifies with the Lamar Jackson signing of what he's going to get. Because there's a lot of talk that these quarterbacks are getting these guaranteed deals now. Because you saw it with Deshaun Watson, he got that huge ass guaranteed, what was it, $200 million, I think it was?
Yeah.
Fully guaranteed contract. And there's a lot of talk that these other quarterbacks could follow suit with these fully guaranteed deals and stuff. But Russell Wilson, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, MVP type caliber player, he did not get a fully guaranteed deal. So it's like, with that said, how much more does Lamar get before he finally says, yeah, I'll sign it? Because he's been very vocal on Twitter saying that he wants a full deal. I think I sent you the tweet where he said someone said Lamar signing a guaranteed deal is not good for the team, and then somebody said and then Lamar replied, said, you don't love Lamar.
That's funny as hell. I love that.
I mean, I can pull it up.
I will say real quick, back to the fully guaranteed thing. I think I know a lot of quarterbacks are shooting for that now after the Deshaun Watson thing. But I think these quarterbacks are not dealing with a potential full year suspension, 12 games. You know what I mean?
There's no way I will justify that signing.
No,
I'm not. Suspension, nothing. There's no way you can guarantee signing someone for that many years.
No,
that guaranteed money.
I'm not justifying the signing
that he's already had as a player.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
I'm not justifying them giving him that much money guaranteed. I'm just saying the only reason that the agent and Watson wanted that deal is because they knew he was going to get suspended and they didn't want him to take a hit. I think the only reason why he got it
is because they traded how many picks for him. You can't. It's almost like the Laremy Tunsil trade. You had the Texans by the balls. You just traded the first round, two first round picks to get him.
Yeah.
You're not going to not sign the guy then, right?
Yeah, but they could have. The only reason they signed him to the fully guaranteed is because he's getting suspended. They could have probably.
I think it's just because they put so much into him that it's you have to guarantee that he signs. Because if he doesn't sign, then it's you did it for nothing. Because he can say no. That's the thing. He could say no to whatever deal he wants. Tyreek Hill said no to the Chiefs. So they traded him.
He would have played 1 year and fucking.
That's what I'm saying. So it's you basically have the team by the balls at that point when you trade up that much capital.
They traded that much, so the Browns are fuck, we can't.
That's what I'm saying. You can't have the guy not be happy, because if he's not happy, then it's well, you did all this for nothing, and you got the bad publicity for it.
The only thing I'm saying is the other quarterbacks can't look for a deal like that because they're not in that same situation. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to be a problem for these quarterbacks when they're trying to get these fully guaranteed deals. You're not going to get it because you don't have the team by the balls. You aren't facing a suspension. You know what I mean? You're not going to get those fully guaranteed deals.
So I found the tweet real quick. It was, as much as I love Lamar, a fully guaranteed deal is just bad business. Just because a horrible franchise, the Cleveland Browns, did horrible business giving Watson that contract doesn't mean other teams should follow. Honestly, I'm hoping, and he said at Lamar Jackson, gets a 10-year, $500 million deal. And then Lamar replied and said, you don't love Lamar.
Goodness. That's funny, though.
But yeah, I don't think he's going to get a fully guaranteed deal.
No, he won't.
He's going to have to settle for something.
Yeah.
But carry on, Nathan.
I do, because I did read somewhere about Deshaun Watson's contract. This might give Cleveland a little bit of breathing room of everybody thinking that they re-signed him, because at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson did get a $230 million guaranteed deal off of, he's going to be suspended. But looking at the contract breakdown, they actually had it structured to where this first year he's only going to get a base salary of $1 million and a guaranteed of 400,000. And then starting the next year, he's guaranteed 46 million whenever he's off the suspension. So they actually structured it to where he's not going to be paid a lot of money on this first year while he's on suspension.
Yeah.
And then starting next year, whenever he's off the suspension, is whenever he's going to be guaranteed $46 million a year. So I mean, I feel like basically it's not a loss, but I mean, still you're guaranteed. I mean, but you still guaranteed $230 million to a
Yeah.
to a quarterback that's suspended, but they're not paying him much over this first year.
Right. So what you're saying is it really had nothing to do with the suspension because they're not even
Yes,
guaranteeing him
because
that much money.
Okay,
this
if we're
first
gonna
year.
talk about the Lamar contracts here, I pulled it up, so I have it on Sport Track. It has guaranteed signing. So Deshaun Watson, he got 230 million guaranteed is 230 million, 100%. Conor Murray, he just signed his deal. He got 103 million dollars guaranteed. His, I think this is practical guaranteed is 189 million.
Yeah.
So that will be 82.21% of his contracts guaranteed. Russell Wilson is at 66.37. Aaron's at 100%. Josh Allen's at 58.13. Mahomes is only at 31.44, whereas the Rams, Matthew Stafford's at 81.25. Dak Prescott's at 78.75%, and then Jared Goff's at 81.12.
So it looks like a lot of them are at like the 80% guaranteed, except for Rodgers.
Yeah, so it's like,
And
well,
Watson.
Rodgers and Watson are the
Yeah.
only ones that got 100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, looking at this, I mean, this year he's only taking up 4% of the cap space, and I feel like this year, he's still gonna play from week 13 on. But I mean, everybody's talking crap like they guaranteed him $230 million, but at the end of the day, he's getting that money on the years that he's gonna play. Like this
Right.
year, he's literally only guaranteed
That makes
400,000,
sense. I didn't realize that.
which I mean,
Oh,
backup
D-Hop
quarterbacks
is
are
on
getting paid that type of
110%
money,
guaranteed.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say, Nathan?
So I said, well, he's only being guaranteed 400,000. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, backup quarterbacks, some backup quarterbacks are making that type of money. So, and with him being a top quarterback like he is, that's just kind of keeping him there. He makes a lot of money. He makes some money, but then whenever he's off suspension and he's going to be a week one starter and he's going to play all 17 games, that's whenever they start guaranteeing
Yeah.
the $46 million each year. So I feel like the Cleveland Browns are getting a little bit too much hate for it when they're not really paying him this year because of the suspension.
Gotcha. No, that makes
I have
sense.
a
I
quick
didn't even
question.
realize
How did you
that.
want to order the contracts? Like, did you want to know? Because you guys were asking, like, who's the highest paid? Do you want it based on average or?
I think it would be like fully guaranteed per year, in my opinion.
Yeah, basically.
You want fully guaranteed?
Yeah, per year. But I don't know if that website can let you break it down. I don't know. I saw like a thing with like the
It just
top
does,
five.
like, guaranteed signing.
Yeah, I saw like top five,
Like, you
and
can
it
do
was
their
like
base salary.
Rodgers.
Isn't dead cap what they're owed?
I think so.
Or cap, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Cap
what it is.
hits, yeah, cap hits. So that's what they're getting paid. So if you're basing off of cap hits, Ryan Tannehill's the highest. His cap hit is 38.6 mil. Mahomes is 35.7. Kirk Cousins is 31.4. Jared Goff's 31.1. TJ's 31.1. Chris Jones is 29.4. Rodgers is 28.5. Carson Wentz is 28.2. Joey Bosa 28.2, and then Leonard Williams is rounding out the top 10 at 27.3 for cap hits. But you also have to think that I don't think those rookie contract, or not the rookie ones, but all those deals that have been signed are taking effect this year, right?
Yeah.
Because if I go to next year, 2023, I'm sure it's different. Yeah, like top one is Deshaun Watson at 54.9, Dak Prescott at 49 mil, Mahomes jumps up to 46 mil, Josh Allen's at 39. So yeah, like the top 10 completely changes. But I mean, goddamn, 54.9 mil, that's a lot of money.
That's nuts. That is actually crazy. All right, moving on. Nick, you got any like hot takes you want to bring up? You got the one more, the Miami bet, right?
Yeah, there was a Miami bet. Where is it? Right here. So this guy bet $1 million on the Miami Dolphins this year. So he bet $900,000 on the Dolphins to win more than 7.5 games. That would make him $360,000 on top of winning back his $900,000. And then he took the team to make the playoffs. He put $100,000 on that, and then he bet $10,000 to win the Super Bowl. The Dolphins to win the Super Bowl, and that would win $400,000 on a $10,000 bet, which is insane to me.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I think like at first, like you were a little skeptical, like that's kind of like a bad bet, like betting $1 million on Dolphins. But I think breaking it down, it's like it's not a bad bet if you bet on them to win the 7.5 games. Like I think the Dolphins can easily win 8 games, 10 games this year. So
yeah,
it could hopefully hit that bet. But the playoff one, he might hit, he might not hit, and then like there's always the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like that one to me is a little crazy. Like I want to be putting money on it, but I do think that they could be.
It's not a bad bet when you break it down because he put most of his money on the winning 7.5 games and the playoffs. So it's like the 7.5 is doable for sure, in my opinion. I think the playoffs might be a little iffy, like you said. But
it's hit and miss depending on like how.
But he didn't. He only put. You figure the two skeptical bets. He only put 110,000 on. You know what I mean? Like I could easily see him winning that first one.
For sure.
Nathan, what do you think about the bet?
I don't really have any like hot takes though.
I feel like just looking at that division, whatever you mean, I feel like that $900,000 bet is obviously the safe bet. The division wouldn't make it into the playoffs. I feel like the Dolphins might sneak in as like the 6th or 7th seed. So I feel like that's another good $100,000 of a bet. But winning the Super Bowl, I'm sorry, but whenever this team, this league, whenever you look at the Bills, the Bengals, and and that AFC West, and the team, obviously the teams in the NFC, I just don't think that $10,000 on them winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is he's definitely going to lose out on that money. Just I don't think that they're there yet.
He only put 10,000 on that though, so it wouldn't be too bad.
No, I know, but I
don't think that guy cares if he loses the $1 million either. That guy's got a ton of money for sure.
For betting that, yeah.
He's definitely going to make that money back on the other bets though.
Yeah,
I think so. I think real quick, I wanted to ask Nathan since he's here this week, and I know me and Nick already did ours last week. I want to give Nathan, just because his takes are a little outlandish sometimes, and I kind of like them. It's not that they're bad takes. I mean, everybody's got their own takes. You know what I mean? But I like having Nathan on to kind of debate some things and just bring up a different aspect. But Nathan, if you were to pick your potential NFL MVP based off of right now and everything you see with the season, how it's going to shape up, who is your NFL MVP?
I have 2 players.
Okay, give me your main one and then like your quote-unquote sleeper one.
My main one would be Josh Allen.
Okay.
He's getting better every year, and I just feel like he's gonna take that MVP this year.
I can see that.
He's honestly the MVP favorite. And I mean, there's no reason why he shouldn't be.
Yeah. Your sleeper one?
My sleeper one it's gonna be a long one, and it's not biased at all, I promise. But it's gonna be Derek Carr.
Okay.
I just feel like with the numbers, with everything that he went through last year, and the numbers that he still put up, and how his offense only got better, I just feel like he's gonna put up MVP numbers, and I feel like he's definitely gonna be in that conversation.
I like it.
We talk about Derek Carr plenty of times. Him and Kirk Cousins get a lot of hate, but I feel like
hate.
I feel like they're top.
I hate
A-type tier.
Okay.
We're gonna say that Nathan. Hate what?
What?
Nathan, you hate what?
I hate how much Kirk Cousins gets hated. I feel like when we praise Justin Jefferson and all that, but I mean, like, who's the one that's throwing him the ball? He's not throwing the ball himself. So whenever you're praising Justin Jefferson, you kind of have to praise Kirk Cousins because he's the one that's giving him these footballs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So next, who do you have as your fantasy MVP player?
Fantasy MVP player? Who do I think is going to be the best fantasy player this year?
Essentially, like, who do you think is going to be the league winner fantasy MVP like Cooper Kupp was last year?
I feel like it's going to be Justin Jefferson. just with how they say that he's going to have a Cooper Cup like role. It's just with him not even being in the sort of kind of being in the Cooper Cup like role, and he's honestly performing as well as he is. I feel like he's going to be if they're going to up his role in the offense. It's just he's honestly going to get better.
Nick, somebody's watching the podcast. We love it. No, I mean, me and Nick, we speak highly of Justin Jefferson. We both agreed on him. Yeah, I think I picked mine as Justin Jefferson, and Nick was like, "Damn, you took mine," so he had to come up with somebody else. But we all essentially say Justin Jefferson.
Chase, I believe? I don't remember. No, I don't remember who I even picked now.
I think it was.
I can't remember.
It might have been Jamar.
It might have been Jamar. I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't really have any hot takes. Nick, I think you said you don't have any, so I was gonna say, Nathan, if you got anything you want to talk about while you're on here.
I remember watching the podcast. You kind of talked about y'all's fantasy sleepers, and I kind of just wanted to know mine. And I feel like mine's gonna be it's gonna catch y'all off guard, but I feel like doing kind of looking into it. I feel like this player is gonna have a bigger year than a lot of us expect. And that player, honestly, who I think is going to be a fantasy sleeper, who might actually perform better than a lot of people think, and he's kind of he's kind of shadowed by the wide receiver one, but I honestly think Allen Robinson is going to be kind of a fantasy sleeper.
Okay.
And just because of the fact that seeing the NFL team now going to begin to double team Cooper Cup weekly because of the role that he had last year. He did. I feel like he's going to get double teamed, and seeing before last year, I don't know what's down even last year, but Allen Robinson the year before, whenever he was single covered, he was considered to be one of the best, 50-50 ball people, or he had some of the best hands in the league. I feel like Matthew Stafford has shown several times he can spread the field a lot. With Cooper Cup going to be double teamed, he's going to have, Matthew Stafford's going to have to double with someone. So he's got a big, great hands wide receiver. I feel like Robinson's going to be the type of guy who's going to have, 4 to 5 receptions a game, maybe 60 to 70 yards, and possibly a touchdown. And I feel like that's a guy being drafted kind of late in the draft. And honestly, I feel like that's a guy that I feel like towards midway point in the season, I feel like he's going to be on a lot of people's research that he's going to be starting lineup because Cooper Cup is going to be double teamed and Matthew Stafford's going to look towards him to, kind of get the ball moving.
Yeah. I will say real quick, Nathan, whatever you're doing, moving or whatever, you're kind of you're cutting in and out a lot on your headphones, but it's all good. Pretty much Allen Robinson is going to be the guy that he picks. He thinks Cooper Kupp's going to get double teamed and Allen Robinson's going to have more opportunities, which I could see that. I think he's going to be a really good wide receiver too. Could be a sleeper as well. I do like that pick. Yeah.
I was going to say we want to move on to the over and unders, and then that's it.
Yeah, we can do that. All
right, so the first one I have here for 2022 regular season over and unders is the Ravens. They are at 10.5. Would you take the over or would you take the under on that?
They're on the Jets, Ravens and Jets.
No. Like their season total wins. They have.
Oh, that's right. That's what it is.
Yeah. So they have them. You'd have to win 10 games. You have to win 11 games, or they'd have to win 10 games. What do you have for that? Is it over and under?
That's tough because I see them probably having like 10 games.
That's what I'm saying. I think I might go the under on that one.
I might have to go the under on that.
Like I don't see them winning that 11 game, but I can see them winning 10 games. What do you have, Nathan? You think they're going to win 11 games?
I'm going the under. I feel like like they're going to be a 9 win team. I think they'll go 9-8. To be honest.
Okay.
I can see that 9-8, 10.
Yeah, I think they're floating around like the 10, so I'd probably take the
10
under.
10 wins, 9 wins, yeah.
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers, they got it at 6.5. Are you taking the over or the under?
Nathan?
I'm taking the over on that one. I just think that team's got better, so they can stay healthy. They'll definitely be like an 8-9 win team.
Well, I mean, they play in a weird division, I guess, but
I think I'm taking the over solely based on the fact that they're an NFC team, And
Okay, yeah, I mean,
you
that's
know what I
fair.
mean? Like I think that the competition in that conference is just weaker, so I could see them sneaking out some wins here and there that we don't expect them to. So I like the over on that.
I honestly probably go with the under. I feel like they might get that seventh win, but I really see them winning only like 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, that one's a
Somewhere
toss up
like
for me,
almost like the
bro.
Ravens, like they're just kind of around that like 6 to 7 range.
Yeah.
Um, skip the Bears because I feel like that one's pretty obvious. What about the Bengals here? They have it at 9.5. You taking the over or the under on the Bengals?
I'm taking the over.
I would say that too. Like I really think they can win 10 to 11 games easy, maybe even 12. Like that team to me is on paper really good. What about you, Nathan?
Um,
That nine and
what
a half.
was it? Over 11?
9.5.
Oh, 9.5 for the Bengals.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have to win 10 games.
I got them on the over. I feel like they're going to be a 10, 11 wins this season.
I thought this one's a pretty toss up, but they got the Cleveland Browns at 8.5. Like, well, that's pretty obvious that I would take the under on that.
I'm taking the under too.
Yeah, I don't see them winning 9 games.
I'm going to take the under also. I feel like Jacoby Brissett is going to struggle, and then Deshaun's just not going to be able to come in and pull it off.
Houston Texans 4.5.
Under.
I honestly think they can win maybe 5. Maybe 5.
They're going 3 and fucking 13. 3 and 14.
You taking the under on that too, Nathan?
No, I'm going to take the over. I'm.
I can see them
I
upsetting
hate.
some teams.
I feel like the Texans have a type of roster and a type of energy now where I feel like they might pull out 5 or 6 wins in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I can see it. They got the Colts at 9.5. I don't know.
I'm going the over on that one. I think they'll be. I would have the Colts finishing with 10 wins, to be honest.
9 to 10 wins, I feel like is around where they're probably gonna be. It's a little bit of a hard one. What about you, Craig?
You said 9.5?
9.5. Yeah, they have to win 10 games to beat it. Or
I think it's like you said, it's gonna be a
kind of a
battle.
toss-up.
It's gonna be a battle with the Titans all year, I think. I think one of them finishes with 10 wins and one of them finishes with 9, and I don't know if I could pick between the two, so I'm probably going to say the under on the Colts.
Kind of going the under too. Jacksonville's kind of an interesting one here. They got it at 6.5. You think the Jacksonville's better than they are last year?
I'm taking the over. Fuck it.
You're taking the over? You think they're gonna win 7 games?
Yeah.
Nathan, what about
I'm taking the under. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not big.
you? Yeah, I'm taking the under all day. Like, I got them out. I got them locked in at like 6 wins, maybe.
No, I mean, that's, yeah, you said 6, right? That was the number?
6.5. So they have to win 7 games.
Oh, okay, yeah. They're probably at around 6 or 7, so I'm just going to say the over. Fuck it.
You already committed to it.
I did.
Miami Dolphins at 8.5. I'm taking the over all day.
8.5, huh? That one guy betted 7, right? 7.5?
Yeah, well, there's different websites that will offer you like you can like the Dolphins will be at like I think the website I looked at was BetMGM, which is where he betted on.
Yeah.
It splits it, so like 8.5 is where like Vegas has it at. Like that's what they're predicted to win, like somewhere around there. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like you can bet on 4.5, 3.5. Like they'd have to win like just 5 games, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty locked in, but it's like at the same time it pays like nothing compared to like what the 8.5 would pay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you said 8.5?
Yeah, I think they easily win 9 games.
I'm looking at their schedule right now. Nathan, you go real quick.
Honestly, I think the Dolphins have a roster to go over. I feel like they'll finish second.
They kind of have a hard schedule, but I think there's just too much talent.
I'm gonna say over. I just counted like the games I think they'll win, and I think it's like right at 9. So I'm gonna say over.
All right.
They do have a really tough schedule. Real quick, just looking at it, They play New
They do.
England,
I think they have like the third hardest
Baltimore,
schedule or something like that.
Buffalo, Cincy, Jets, Vikings, Steelers, Lions, Bears, Browns, Texans, 49ers, Chargers, Bills again, Packers, Patriots again. Like, they do have a pretty tough schedule.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard schedule, but I think there's just too much talent for that team
Yeah.
to fail.
No, I agree. Who's next?
The Patriots 8.5. I'm taking the under all fucking day.
I'm hammering the under on that one.
That's like they're paying $1.95. So if you bet $1, you'll win 95 cents. I'm betting that all fucking day.
I think you
that's
bet
like,
20 on that, Nick. If I could bet,
that's
I
what I'm
would.
saying. Like that's a solid fucking bet.
Yeah.
Like I'm taking that all day. Like you said, like how they always do on Pat McAfee. Like I'm hammering it.
Yeah, I'm hammering
Hammer
that
down.
one,
Like
bro.
that one's give me Thor's.
Hammer
fucking
down!
Yeah. What about you, Nathan? 8.5 for the Patriots.
I'm gonna take the under.
Fuck
I feel
yeah.
like I feel like Bill is not gonna perform. I don't think Mac Jones is a great quarterback, so I feel like he's gonna struggle.
100%. What about the Saints at 8.5?
Under.
You're taking under? That's what I'm thinking too. I think they're gonna be an 8-win team.
Yeah.
8 to 7-win team. Nathan?
He's over.
You know, I'm gonna take the over.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all knew that was coming.
I'm gonna get in depth on that one.
Yeah.
Jets are at 5.5. Fuck that though. What about the Eagles? 9.5. Think the Eagles go over 10 wins?
Fuck.
That's a hard one.
I'm looking at their schedule.
I'll take the over on the Eagles. I mean, just looking at that division, I
I
feel
think
like
they're gonna be a 9 to 10 win team.
well, look at the division. They're having to play the Giants two games. They'll go 2-0 against the Giants. The Commanders. I feel like one of those games will be a clean sweep for the Eagles, and the other game will be a game. But I still feel like they'll go 2-0 against them. And the Cowboys, they're going to split it 1-1. But I mean that's 5 wins right there, and I feel like just the rest of their schedule and how talented they are. They're definitely going to be an over team for me.
What was the number again, Nick? 9?
9.5.
I'm taking the over. I think they win 11 games this year. And I know we said before, I think we put, like, in our team rankings, the Cowboys to win the division. I think the Eagles are going to win the division.
We did talk about it. We did talk about it.
We did talk about it, yeah.
Think that they could make a push.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go under on that one, honestly. I think they're sitting around that 9 to 10 win. I'm gonna go under and hope that they don't hit the 10th win, but that's my prediction.
They're
somewhere
hitting the
around
10th
there.
win.
Yeah, I mean it's possible, but 7.5 for the Steelers. I think that's another one. I'm hammering that 7.5 under.
You're going under on that?
They're paying $1.95 for them to win to hit the over and $1.87. I'm hammering that all day under 7.5.
Look, real quick. I don't think they're necessarily going to be a good team by any means, but you got to look at the defense. You got to look at.
About it though. We did talk about it with their coach being always consistent, but I'm hammering the under.
You got to look at Mike Tomlin. Has never had a losing season.
I know, but I'm hammering it. Mitchell Trubisky's
Hey,
gonna cost.
you hammer that under all day long and lose your money. I'm taking the fucking over. They're gonna be 8-1 or some shit like that. Like I'm telling you, it's
8-1.
Nah, bro.
Hello?
They're gonna be some shit like that. Hello, yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
You taking a 7.5 over, Nathan, for the Steelers?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like they'll honestly win 8 or 9 games this season. I feel like just Mike Tomlin is. I feel like Mitch Trubisky. I'm a minor believer in Mitch Trubisky, and I feel like he's gonna. I feel like he can honestly. He's gonna start off slow, but I feel like he's gonna just off of that. He hasn't started a game since the Bears, and honestly, I feel like it's gonna, kind of bump over to that.
All right.
And he's gonna end up, maybe getting them 8 or 9 wins.
Real quick.
Okay.
All right. So they play this is a Steelers schedule. They play the Bengals. Probably a loss, right?
Yep.
Okay, Patriots. I think they win that. That's 1.
A tie. That's a tie.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know. I think they can win it though.
Okay, so for me personally, I'm gonna say they win that. So that's 1. Browns, I think they probably split. So that's 2.
They're 1-1 right now.
1-1, yeah. Browns, I think they probably win this one. 2-1. Jets, I think they win.
3-1.
3-1. Bills, they lose. 3-2. Bucks they lose 3-3. Dolphins they lose
3-4.
3-4.
I might be actually at that game, Craig.
Eagles really? Eagles they lose. What is that? 3-5.
Yeah.
Saints
3-6. 3-6.
3-6 maybe. Bengals they probably lose again 3-7.
7. They're slipping.
Oh fuck.
3-8. 3-8.
3-8 maybe. Falcons 4-8. Ravens
That's
3-9.
that's a lot.
Panthers they win 4-9. Raiders they I don't know, man. You might be
Oh,
right.
the vibes are down. The vibes are
The
down.
vibes are down.
They're losing.
They're
Mike
oh
Tomlin's
god.
lost it. He's like, oh my god, Mitch Trubisky's throwing picks out here, left, right, and center. What am I doing?
I don't know. We'll see how their defense can keep them in games. So they could maybe
it's
pull out a
doable.
game against the Colts or the Eagles or the Saints. Like they could
I'll
potentially
tell
win
you
some
right
of
now.
these games.
I'll tell you right now. Even gambling websites don't know where to put it because they're, like I said, they're paying $1.95 for them to hit the over, but they're also paying $1.87 to hit the under. So
Yeah,
it's like it's
so
a little
it's
bit.
like-
It's closer than like
Yeah.
the other ones where they're like the 49ers, for instance. They had the under at 2.35,
Yeah.
whereas they got the over at favored at 163. So it's like
For that one,
Even-
for me, I wouldn't
even
be
gambling
surprised
sites don't
either
even
way.
know, like,
I wouldn't be surprised either way.
that's
I don't
what
know.
I'm saying.
I don't know if I'm
they could hit it,
hammering
they could
down
lose it.
the under though.
I'm hammering it.
Oh
I'm
my
hammering it.
God.
Look at that schedule. Look at that schedule.
I hear you. No, I like it. Okay, moving on.
We're gonna skip the 49ers. I feel like that's obvious. Washington Commanders. 8.5.
I'm hammering that down. The under. Under all day, bro.
What will you, Nathan? Under all day on the Commanders. 8.5.
Yeah, I'm under all day.
Arizona 8.5. Even this is one right here. They're paying the exact same. They literally don't know what they're gonna do.
I don't know what Arizona team we get this year, man. I really
That's what I'm
don't.
saying. You get the good team from the start of the year, or you get the bad team at the end of the year. Then they finish strong.
They got
or-
the talent. I mean, it's not that they don't. They lost a couple on defense. You said 8.5.
Yep.
Fuck, man.
I don't know.
I'm going
I
under.
honestly think
I think I'm gonna hit the under 8.5. I think they're an 8 to 9 win team. It's gonna be close.
I honestly think they're gonna bank 2 free wins off Seattle.
Okay.
I honestly think that they're gonna be an over team just because of the fact that I feel like Kyler, he's a talented quarterback. He can obviously, I mean, Bengals week 1, that's a loss. Ravens, I feel like, hang on, keep scrolling. There's a lot of winnable games, but I'm going to honestly go the under. I think they get 9 wins this season. I think they pull it off.
They have a hard schedule. Like,
Bro,
scroll
they have
back
to
up.
play the whole AFC West.
Wait, go back to the top real quick.
Look, I'll go through it real quick.
Go,
They play.
go for game.
They play Chiefs first week. They play Raiders.
No.
They play Rams. They play Panthers.
tough.
They
That's
play
a tough
Eagles.
schedule.
They play Seahawks dub. They play the Saints. They play the Vikings. Seahawks again. They play the Rams again. The 49ers again. The Chargers. Pats free dub. The Broncos. The Bucks. Falcons free dub. 49ers again. Like, I don't know. That one's a tough one too.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like that's a lot of games that like they could win, but they could also lose just because those teams are just as good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're winnable, but they're also just as easily losable.
That's
I'm
tough.
probably gonna go the under on that one. Green Bay, they are favored to hit the under at 2 or hit the over at 163. Sorry. Do you think Green Bay wins 10 games? I'm looking at 235 for the under. I might hit that. 10 wins for the Packers or under. Like this might be another one where I'm saying like I might hammer that down like 10.5. You think the Packers hit 11 wins again? You going through the schedule right now?
Ooh, I'm borderline like 10 real quick just looking at it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I could see them doing it 11 games, but I'm going 10 wins.
This is a hard one looking at it.
This is a very
Like,
hard
lack of-
one.
They have a lack of talent. Like
Because they probably split with the Vikings, I think. As much as just because division. I think
They're
they
gonna
take
beat
both the Bears. Because he owns
get
the
some
fucking
under
Bears.
daddy.
We all know that. Probably lose to the Bucks, beat the Patriots, beat the Giants, probably beat the Jets, probably beat the Commanders, probably lose to the Bills, beat the Lions. They might even split with the Lions this year.
Potential. Could lose to
Cowboys,
the Cowboys there.
they might. Titans, they could potentially lose to. Like, Eagles could potentially lose to. Bears, we said they'd probably take both. Rams, Dolphins,
Those are losable games. Like.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely could see the under. I hate betting against Rodgers, man.
I'm
probably taking the under.
I think they're going to get a win.
I'm looking at it, and I have them right at 10 wins.
Yeah,
That's
so do
what
I.
I'm saying, like,
And it's 10 and
I
a
mean,
half.
I think,
Yeah,
I'm taking the under. I think they win 10.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
they
I'll
win
take
10
the under.
games.
let me look. Hang on. So I think I got them beating the Bears, the Patriots, the Giants, the Jets, the Commanders, the Lions, the Cowboys in Week 10, then the Eagles in Week 12, the Bears again in Week 13. Then I have them winning the last two. I think that puts me right at 10.
That's 11.
No, 11.
It's
also-
such a toss-up.
It's iffy that they get that 11 or not. Moving on here, we got the Raiders at 8.5. I think you got to hit the under on this one. I think just because of the division alone, it's going to be a toss-up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they play against the Broncos.
Not only that, it's what I said a second ago. Like, so all the NFC West teams are playing the NFC or the AFC West teams. So those are potentially two of like the toughest divisions going to get at each other all season long, bro. Like,
what do you have for 8.5 for the Raiders? I say under.
I think I'm gonna go under, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's over.
Wait, what is it for the Raiders?
8.5.
8.5.
For the Raiders, I'm going over. I have them as like a 10, 11 win team.
Such a tough schedule, though, man. Like, everybody's got tough schedules.
What about the Chargers? Over 10 or under 10?
Fuck.
I got them on the over.
I think I'm taking them on the over.
I think I see my.
I think legitimately we might see all four of these in the AFC West teams in the playoffs.
It's possible.
I don't think it's doable, but
Everything would have to work out perfectly, but I could
think it's
see
possible, but not doable.
Nah, yeah.
Vikings at 9.5. I'm going over all day. 10-win team right here.
I wouldn't be surprised if in that division you got the Packers and the Vikings both at 10 wins, and it depends on who won more games against each other. You know what I mean?
I'm going over.
What was the? It was 10.5 or 9.5?
9.5. 9.5.
I'm taking over.
I'm taking the under.
I think they're a 10 to 11 win team.
I think that secondary is way too weak.
Who needs a secondary when you can score 40 points a game?
Yeah, like that NFC and their division is weak. Giants 7.5 over under.
Hammer down that under. Hammer it down.
Yeah, I think they're anywhere from like a 5 to 7 win team. Honestly. Vikings 9.5. Taking the over, taking the under.
We just did the Vikings.
Or the Titans. Sorry, Titans. 9.5.
9.5. Again, I like I said earlier, I think there's one team, Colts, that are going to have 9, and Titans are going to have 10, or vice versa. Like, I think that one I'll probably take the over.
I'm going to take the over on this one.
Yeah.
What about you, Nathan?
Craig said it's either the Titans or the Colts are going to be the ones that are going to have the 10. I feel like I'm going to take the over, just because I don't know how, but they'll always find a way to pull it off. Even I feel like they'll still even figure out a way to pull it off because Mike Vrabel's such a good coach. I feel like they'll find a way to pull it off at the even without AJ Brown.
All right, the Cowboys 9.5.
Under. Hammer down.
I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under.
I'm going to take the under. I feel like they're going to be an 9.
Tampa Bay 11.5. You think they're a 12-win team this year?
God damn, they got that one up there, son.
That's what I'm saying. It's a big one. I think I'm taking the under. I see them at 11, but that 12
What's the
point
payout on those, bro? Because the under has to be like hella, right?
under is 169.
What's the over?
$1.60. The over is 225.
God damn.
So
So
they're
everybody's betting the
they're
over. That's
favored.
why it keeps going up, right?
They're favored to hit the under.
Yeah.
But people are betting on the over, I guess.
I'm taking
I'm taking the
under.
under.
Yeah.
I think I'm taking the under. I think they get that 11 wins easy, but I don't know about that.
I think in nowadays NFL, bro, it's so hard to go like 12-5 or 13-4. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's just so hard to do nowadays. Unless you pull like a Cardinals last year and start off fucking 8-0, 7-0. Like that's the only way.
What about you, Nathan? 11.5 for Tampa Bay.
Look at their schedule right now. I'm looking at it. I got them on the
Got them under?
Over.
Oh, over? You think they're gonna win 12 games easy?
I'm just looking at it. I mean, you got Dallas week 1, they'll win. Saints week 2, they'll win. Packers, they'll win. Chiefs, they'll lose. Then you got the Falcons, then the Steelers, then the Panthers. You know, that's 3 straight games. It's like we've got to win. And then starting week 10, they've got Seattle, which they're going to win. Cleveland still won't have in week 12, so they're Saints. I feel like they'll lose to them week 13. Week 14, the 49ers. I feel like they'll lose. The Bengals. I feel like they're going to close the rest of the season. The Cardinals, the Panthers. I feel like they're going to close it out with home. So I feel like they're honestly going to hit maybe 12 wins, 13 wins, maybe.
Oh, damn. All right, Denver Broncos.
I feel like they're going to have they have a little bit of an easy schedule. Some of the games aren't toss-ups. Like it's always a toss-up with them.
Yeah.
All right, Denver Broncos at 9.5. I'm hitting the under.
Under.
I think they're good, but I just don't see them beating these other teams in the division. What about you, Nathan? You got Denver at a 10-win team or a 9-win team?
I'm at a 10-win team.
You think they're a 10-win team? Oh my god.
Yeah, I think honestly they'll go 10-7.
Look, here's
one of these teams has to lose at the end of the day.
Yeah, like if you look at this division, I think the Chargers and the Chiefs are in the upper echelon of the division, and I'm not saying that the other two aren't competitive, but they're in the upper echelon. The Raiders and the Broncos, I think they're going to be good, yes, but at the end of the day, somebody's got to lose more games, and it's going to be one of those two teams.
Again, I could see them hitting 8 wins, 9 wins, but I don't see them being a 10-win team. The last team here, Seattle Seahawks, 5.5. I am under all day.
Damn, they got them like low, like the Texans.
Yeah, I don't.
I think if I was betting, you'd probably have to take the over on that.
Really?
Just because wouldn't the payout be bigger?
The payout's bigger than the under. It's $2 on the under.
Oh well, fuck.
I'm taking that all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm betting $1 to make $2. Like I'm taking the under.
I like it. Yeah, I'll take the under too. Fuck
I think they're gonna be a 5-win team, if not worse.
I think a lot of these games would be competitive, but they don't have or not a lot of these games. I think they'll probably get smoked by a lot of the teams they play, but at the same time they'll have like some competitive close games, but they just don't have the guy at the quarterback position to win you those games. You know what I mean? Like those close games, you want somebody good at the quarterback position to make a last drive, and Geno Smith and Drew Lock are just not going to do that.
What about you, Nathan? 5.5.
I think the under, honestly. I feel like after they pursued Jimmy G and the 49ers didn't want him in the division, so they restructured his contract to keep him in. I feel like Seattle's now they're gonna tank. They're gonna be at most a 3 to 4 win team, and then they're gonna have they'll have 2 first-round picks next year, and then they'll get either Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud next year. That's where then that's whenever they're gonna start kind of building around that quarterback they're gonna get.
All right, well, that's gonna do it for the over and unders. Anything else to add, Craig?
No, I think that's it for me. I don't have any hot takes or anything. Nathan, you got any last words?
I was thinking, I don't know if y'all are down for it, but I was wondering if y'all want to take a look give some quick predictions on who we think is going to win, like offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, the rookie of the years, and all that. I don't know if you're down for that.
I was thinking we're gonna do that probably at the end of the year.
Well, I see.
He's talking about like some early
Oh, you
predictions
wanna
on
go
it.
like now?
Yeah.
I just see everybody trying to make their predictions of the year. So I was like, I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not gonna get in too much depth about any of them. I think real quick, and some of these might be like not guarantees, but most people probably agree with it. But just real quick, I think offensive player of the year is gonna be Justin Jefferson. Defensive player of the year is gonna be T.J. Watt because they'll probably snub him from the MVP again as always. Because they always give it to a fucking quarterback. Rookie of the year. It's probably gonna go to an offensive player. But I feel like it'd be lit if it goes to like Sauce Gardner from the Jets.
Well, I mean, they have defensive and offensive rookie of the years.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think defense will be Sauce. Offense.
I'm pretty sure you said offensive rookie to be lit if they give it to Sauce Gardner.
No, I was saying I didn't realize they had two separate ones. I thought it was just rookie of the year. But I was saying like I know it always goes to an offensive player, but it'd be lit if it was Sauce Gardner. I don't know who my offensive rookie of the year. They might give it to fucking what is it, Drake London? Because he's probably gonna get the most touches out of all the rookies.
I'm saying it's gotta be Drake London, right?
I don't know. That's just my quick thought about it. I haven't really thought about those too much, so I haven't really figured it
Nick, what do you
any of
think?
it out.
Pretty much. With Craig on everything that he said. Like, offensive player, Justin Jefferson. Defensive player, I'm gonna go with Myles Garrett. I think he's gonna have a big year. What are the other choices? Offensive rookie and defensive rookie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my defensive rookie is gonna be Sauce, and I'm probably gonna go Drake London again just because he's literally the only rookie I can think of that's gonna get any kind of production right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Unless Chris Olave or Christian Watkins, like one of those two. Or even Garrett Wilson, I guess, has a chance, but I mean, I feel like it's slim pickings this year for rookies, honestly.
Nathan, who you got real quick? I'm sure you've thought about it.
I got offensive player of the year. I'm gonna go Justin Jefferson. Defensive player of the year. I'm most likely, honestly, I would not be surprised if Myles Garrett takes it. Offensive rookie. Defensive rookie of the year. Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, I forgot about him.
That's true.
That's
And
solid.
then offensive rookie of the year. I feel like, honestly, it'll be George Pickens.
I knew you were gonna say that.
The
I'm gonna change my defensive rookie to Kayvon Thibodeau. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Giants. Alright, well that's it for me. I don't have anything else to add.
No, that's it for me.
If Nathan
Nathan?
has anything else to add again.
No.
All right. Well,
Alright.
that wraps up our episode. Appreciate you coming on, Nathan. I'm sure we'll get you back on at some point again. Again, thanks for all the likes, the subscribes, the comments, the support. We appreciate it. Anybody that's new checking us out, hopefully you enjoyed the episode. And like, comment, subscribe. And we'll catch you next
If you have any
week.
different opinions on anything that we said, make sure you put it in the comments.
Yep.
Shout out to everyone that follows the channel, that watches it, subscribes on YouTube, watches the YouTube channel. Much appreciated. That's it for me.
Also, let us know what you thought about Nathan being on the show. Give us some feedback on that. Anyways, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We will catch y'all next week. And enjoy the first week of football.
Let's get it.